Hello? Hello, hello. Hello. Hello, everyone. We're here. We're doing it again. RWBY Beyond, episode 2. This one has Jaune on the thumbnail. Yeah, I made my, my placeholder thumbnail, like in the middle of the week, like just being prepared. And then, and then I saw that Jaune was on this one's thumbnail. And I was like, oh no. Oh, Seacants, you're here. Good. I wanted to answer a question you had. You left a question on my community post. You asked if I would ever review Attack on Titan, and I knew you would be showing up here, so I was like, I'll just wait and I'll tell them, like, live, so that you can hear it from my voice, because I always worry I don't sound sincere through text. You asked if I would ever review Attack on Titan. I've never seen it. Maybe we can, like, watch it and react to it or something. And then we'll see in the end. So yeah, we're here. Okay, alright, before we get started, this pissed me off. Okay, so last Wednesday, thank you, Indigo, Demipanther, RWBY makes me want to learn to be a storyteller. It's a good one to study, to learn, because they do some things so right, and then some things so wrong. It's honestly amazing. It's so hard to just blanketly say it's all good or all bad, because it's so much. So, last Wednesday, I was going to record audio for, my next upcoming video. It's an analysis of the fight of everyone fighting Salem inside the whale. That was my plan. That was what I was gonna do. And then the apartment's landscape team showed up, and that pissed me off because I was like, they were just here. I remember they were just here, but they showed up on Wednesday, which they never do. But I was like, you know what? They change their schedules sometimes. So, I guess their schedule is now they show up on Wednesdays. And then today, this morning, they showed up again. And they're floating around out there, so they might show up. One of the lawnmower man might show up in the middle of our stream. I have no idea. And I was fuming because I'm like, you were just here on Wednesday. Why show up again? Pick a day. So, that was my conundrum for the morning. Alright, let's not waste too much time. This one's slightly longer. A whopping 5 minutes. Woo. Let me turn on that. Let me know if the audio on it is too quiet or too loud for you. And then I can adjust it accordingly. Just make sure to just yell at me. So, let's not, I don't want to put the cart before the horse, you know? A Jaune-centric episode. I'm so conflicted with Jaune, because sometimes I like Jaune. Sometimes when he's a background character, when he's a nice, fun, normal background character, I think he's great. Like, Jaune was peak in Volume 7, you know? But when Jaune takes center stage, he so easily can slip into being obnoxious, overdramatic, over the top. I was worried it was just gonna be Sun and Neptune doing junior detective shenanigans. So, I guess this is an improvement? I guess we'll see. Let's not waste time, let's dive right in. And let me know if it's too loud or too quiet for you.
This is the very first entry in what I guess is about to become my journal. Just feels like something you do when you want to keep your daily life in perspective.
Okay, so before we get too far in, okay. I can't help but think that it's only, like, my theory is each one of these is going to star someone who they could very easily get into the recording booth. I still have my bingo board, and I'm very, very worried we'll not see any of these characters, because I imagine they're just getting the ones that are very easy to get for the recording booth. Like, Miles is one of the writers, you know, Carrie's one of the writers, Michael, and I imagine RWBY will show up eventually, so that's my theory. because I don't know when they made this. I'll try for subtitles. They tend to disappear if you pause too much, and I'm not gonna bother, like, reloading the episode. We'll see if they work, but usually not.
And now that I've been young and old and young again, it's not always easy to keep things in perspective these days. I know I lost it for a little bit there.
Young and old and young again is so... I still can't believe that's the decision they went with. I cannot believe that's the decision they went with. Also, lost it for a while there. So what, you got over it? Off screen again? What a surprise. Because I guess having Jaune go through his stop being... But is it? Like, what's worse? Having Jaune repeat a trauma-based character arc, or having him go through his second trauma-based character arc off-screen? Which one's worse?
Being back with my team...
Oh, why are you running like that? God, you don't know how much I missed Juniper. Holy crap. Watching Volume 9, it was, I missed Juniper so badly. Seeing Ren and Nora and Oscar, I miss them so much. Don't Naruto run, please. It's so dumb. We make fun of this for a reason. So stupid and goofy.
Helps, even though things aren't the same. Ren and Nora have their own thing they're working through, and I'm not the same boy they knew. I'm the rusted knight.
See, this is the thing I'm talking about. So easily, it tips into being overdramatic with a Jaune. I'm not the same boy they knew. I'm the rusted knight. Okay. It's your birthday! Happy birthday! Happy birthday, Cass Elliot! Good job on that whole being born thing. You did it. Well done. Hooray! Birth! Happy birthday! Everyone tell Cass Elliot happy birthday in the chat. Yay! Yeah. I missed Ren until I remembered he Naruto ran. Yeah, what are we doing here? Are we playing tag? This is the same shot. Wait, was that also a repeated shot? It is. Is it? Who is this person back here? What is going on back here? What are we doing? Are we playing tag? Boy, son, are you in your 20s, aren't you? Yeah. I'm not the boy they used to know. Because, like, on one hand, I get it. Because I'm willing to go with that. Because Jaune should potentially have the mind of a 40-year-old. So, and, like, when you're 40, being 20 is still, like, a kid, you know? Okay, so it reminds me of the opening for Volume 6, where we see a brief moment of RWBY and Weiss running around on the train cars being happy, and it also looks like they're playing tag. Do the writers at Rooster Teeth just think tag is the go-to fun thing to do, no matter what age? Alright.
Thing they're working through, and I'm not the same boy they knew. I'm the rusted knight. Nora, love.
Yeah, this is the same thing as last time. This is a repeated background from the last one, because I recognize the banana shop. Okay, like, I knew it was gonna be a half-rushed budget for this stuff, but alright.
Loves reminding people of that, by the way. They usually just look at her like it's some kind of inside joke they're not a part of. These days, I'd rather forget.
Then say that. Just tell her that. Half of RWBY's emotional problems would be solved if the characters just talked to each other. I've been thinking about making a video going over everything in RWBY that happens off screen. Like their developed friendship. off screen. Why with the banana building? I don't know what we're selling here. Is it a joke that John's hair looks like bananas because everyone says that? Is that because also Sun was in the last one? I don't... it's just such a pronounced looking building, you know?
Guess I was the Rusted Knight, but the Rusted Knight wasn't really me. Who is Jaune now? Lately, I've been spending more time with the person I thought might relate most.
Yes, this is what I want. Yeah, this is what I wanted. So if we're gonna do Old Man Jaune story, having him hang with old men is the thing I want to see. Yes. OMG, guys. Because Oscar is in a shockingly similar boat as Jaune, right? Because Oscar is also a young boy who has an old man element trapped within his soul, and Jaune is the same. It's a little bit different, obviously. Also, Jaune and Oscar actually talking to each other? Oscar getting to talk to anybody? Oh, unheard of.
And how is that journal going?
Oh, and he talked. Why didn't he get to talk in the last one? Also, it's Ozpin right now. You can tell. It's Ozpin talking.
Yeah, haven't quite started yet. Soon, though.
It'll help.
Yeah, sometimes it doesn't feel like anything will. Don't get me wrong, I'm not unhappy to be back. I just feel out of place. Like I've left the world by and it's done the same.
So, this is fine so far. A fine concept. Jaune dealing with the repercussions of being an old man turned back into a boy is an interesting thing to explore. It's a plot point I don't understand why they chose to do this, but if we're going to do it, it is an interesting concept to explore. But wasn't RWBY Beyond sold as, like, the stories of what was happening while they were in the Ever After? Like, I thought that was the main thing. Was it just Sun and Neptune? Was that the only part from while they were in the Ever After still? It's also... okay. It is so stupid that the last episode was Sun and Neptune going, well, golly gee, where's Team RWBY? And then in this immediate next episode, it's like, oh, well, they're back. That Sun and Neptune episode gets worse and worse with every single passing second. Every single thing they do makes that Sun and Neptune episode even worse. RWBY wasn't sold as anything really. You're not wrong, Seabass. It's basically, I think someone left a comment, and I agree with them. I don't remember where it was. I don't remember if it was on one of my videos or on, like, Twitter or Tumblr or something, but someone, like, the point is to, like, use this to just sell the show, basically. This was to get investors, right? You know, this is a marketing pitch. They're not episodes. Thank you, M3D. Oscar looks so much better in this style. I'm gonna say a lot of RWBY looks better in this style. I don't know, maybe I've just seen RWBY too much, but I've so fallen out of love with the 3D models. And I also think it goes to show that, we don't really need the 3D. Like, every single other Rooster Teeth production is animated in a 2D style. I don't know why they only have 3D for RWBY. So this is like volume 9.5? Kinda. It's only gonna be 4 episodes long. I guess that's almost half of how long volume 9 was, because it was only 10 episodes. Let's keep going.
Believe me, I know what that's like. I've been the subject of a couple of fairy tales myself.
You mean Ozpin has? Right?
Of course. If you're not sure where to start.
Oh no! Oh, that was, man! The blending of the two is getting too, like, it's happening. They're getting too blended together, you know? You see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Like, I thought that was Ozpin. He was talking like Ozpin, but it's actually Oscar, because they're getting blended together too much now. Oh no. Oh no. What a weird, not explored plot point, by the way. Like the ticking time bomb that is Oscar losing his soul to Ozpin's metamorphosis is an amazing, interesting plot point that Oscar has not addressed with anybody. He has only sat there and talked about it to himself and Ozpin in his head. He's just mused silently about this. What? Have your characters talk to each other. Jeez.
I do have a suggestion, if you'd like.
Sure.
Think about the good times. What little they might have been that you spent it.
Animation mistake. Where's his freckles? Normally, I don't really care. It's just that he's very cute because he's one of the few characters with freckles.
In the ever after.
Just focus on the positive.
No, not like that. It might be able to help you remember what it was all for.
Cool. Good job, Rooster Teeth. I'm gonna see what he said, because I was talking about his freckles. Hold on. Wasn't paying good enough attention.
Sure.
Think about the good times. What little they might have been that you spent in the ever after.
Think about the good times. What little they might have been that you spent in the ever after. And Jean's response is,
just focus on the positive.
just focus on the positive. I will admit, that's terrible advice. That is, I will see where they're going with it, but surface level, just think about the happy stuff. It's not great advice. Thank you, Sky Slasher. Hey, Critter, how's it going? I thought Ozpin was fighting the merger. They're trying. They're trying to fight it. They mention that in the epilogue, but they don't... I don't know how they're fighting it, and I don't think they can fight it off for eternity. It has not been explained. It's just one of those things that happens, and we as the audience is supposed to just sit here and be like, okay, sure. I guess that's how that's working. Hey, by the way, do y'all have your hydrations with your water? Staying hydrated, like, comment, and subscribe. Nice. Let's keep going.
No, not like that. It might be able to help you remember what it was all for.
Okay, cool. I guess I'll just reload the stupid episode, Rooster Teeth. Thank you, Juan! Hi, Juan. Isn't RWBY 3D because Monty's older work is? Like Haloid? Yes.
Fresh, but I need them to smell fresh
hold
too.
on.
That's why.
Hold on. We are not listening to you. And you are not getting footage here. Is this what I'm looking for? Yeah, there it is. Okay. Yeah, so it makes sense because that was like what Monty was used to working with. And then it's kind of a complicated story. So Monty was used to working with Poser, but apparently Poser isn't really like the industry standard, which is why they moved to Maya, because Maya is more the industry standard. I don't know if that's still true. I think it is. But yeah, it made sense because like that was what Monty knew how to do, and then but it's weird. It's weird to me that they would establish a whole animation idea around that 3D modeling system, but then none of them ever like continued to use that 3D modeling system. You know? Like they figured out how to make RWBY, and then for all the rest of their shows, they never once sat there and went, let's also do that same system. They all decided to go with this like 2D art style thing, kind of like Flash animated kind of stuff, like Camp, you know? It's just weird. It's weird that because it feels like just reusing your resources would be a lot smarter, right?
And rewrite the story in your own way.
Rewrite the story in your own way. What completely Ozpin-ass advice, right? Just make up your own history. That's what I did.
The good times. I remember Alex and Lewis. Those early days of getting to know each other were magical. It's like I was living someone else's life. For me, this...
I'm not gonna lie, I really am sick of the Ever After. I don't want to see more. Yeah, Genlock was the only thing. I am so sick of the Ever After. I just, because we've been here. We've been stuck here for forever now, you know? I just don't want to be in the Ever After anymore. This should have been in Volume 9 also. Whatever we're going to talk about here, if it's going to be important, we should have done it in Volume 9 itself. I'm just tired. I just don't like the Ever After. I'm tired of it. I want to be in Vacuo. We just got to Vacuo. Let me see Vacuo. I've been waiting for so long to see it. I don't want this Wonderland story anymore.
The secret that I knew a little of what was happening to all of us was exciting. Lewis was a puzzle, since he wasn't part of the story I knew, but he figured out really quickly that I knew more than I was letting on. We compared notes on Remnant. Oh, they couldn't believe I was from the faraway future. I couldn't believe they were from Vacuo.
They're from Vacuo? Oh, we're definitely gonna run into Lewis. 1,000,000% Lewis is living in Vacuo. Or like some, like, descendant of his. Like his niece or granddaughter or something. This should have been in the volume. This is something that should have been in Volume 9. Because I don't know these kids. Why should I care? What? Oh my god, we stopped to have, like, a backstory moment with Jaune and everything. Why didn't we do this then? And it was the same exact art style, too. It was in episode 7, the one with the Punderstorm, the one with the... Where Blake and Yang kiss. The other part, the part without Blake and Yang kissing. When Jaune was talking, he was explaining them and how he knew them. It was this same exact art style and everything. Just, this should have been in that episode. Theo was for sure related to him. Maybe. You know, maybe. Ooh, let's keep going.
Back before the war. Before Huntsman.
So they're from before the war. Okay. So, 70 plus years ago. It's 70 to 80 plus years ago. It's so crazy that the war is so recent in their timeline, right? The Great War that they all talk about, where there was like kings and whatever, and it's easy to sit there and be like, that was like several hundred years in the past for Team RWBY. No, that was only 80 years ago. Theoretically, characters like Ironwood could have been directly seen the tail end of it. Or to some degree, his parents would have seen the tail end of it, I guess. Thank you again, Sky Slasher. You ever think about how weird it is Lewis wrote himself out of he and Alex's story? Yes. Yes, a lot. It's so weird, and it feels like they kind of came up with that idea at the last second, because they wanted Alex to die, but they needed someone to, like, tell the story. So they were like, oh, dang, we should add someone else in here to tell it. Why would he cut himself out? And I think in some behind-the-scene tweet or whatever, they were like, he wrote it the way he wished it could have happened. But it's weird, because the way he wished it could have happened didn't involve him. It's weird. And thank you, George. Hi, George. I'm planning on clearing the board in the finale of my RWBY fanfic's first arc. Ooh, Jaune is being considered for the chopping block. If I do choose him, I would promote Pyrrha to leader and add Penny to round out the team. Good idea. Neat idea. Interesting. You would have to completely change the team name. Juniper wouldn't work anymore, I don't think. Unless it's just Juniper. I'm in a similar, where I've been working on my RWBY AU, and it will be premiering after Magical Girl May. Remember, we're quickly barreling towards Magical Girl May. I am very excited for it, but once May is over, I'm gonna start releasing episodes for my AU as well. It'll be just in time for the summer of RWBY, so it's great. It lined up perfectly. But thinking about it, I was like, eventually, at least one of the characters is going to have to die, right? Because that's what happens in Volume 3. Someone has to die, at least one or two people. And I was sitting there, I was like, oh no, it is hard killing off your darlings. Puniper. Alright, let's keep going.
I remember the first time we tried to shop at the Garden Acre. They didn't have days of the week, so they invented one. Splatter Day, just for us humans. You know, for a while, they ended up having Splatter Day every day because they didn't understand. But every Splatter Day, there was a farmer's market, only instead of buying produce, you bought farmers who would grow it for you for a little bit. We would roast things by the fire every night. But
Okay, kind of cute. It's neat getting, like, it's really nice, like, this is gonna sound so stupid. It's really nice getting moments of character interaction that isn't just exposition. Like these little, just humanizing moments of them just doing cute, weird things together. So few and far between in RWBY, which is so weird. Every single scene in RWBY boils down to exposition. It reminds me of, like, early volumes, like volumes 1 and 2, where they had, like, weird random moments where they just talked to each other. That doesn't happen much anymore. And so it's kind of nice to see. Thank you, Sickants. Splatter Day. Jaune sure went all out on Splatter Day with Penny at the end of Volume 8, am I right? Okay, I'll be nice now. You're not wrong. Alright. Also, this fire, I will admit, looks lovely. They struggle with fire sometimes. Sometimes they nail it, sometimes they don't.
it was those campfires I remember most. Lewis writing everything down in his journal. The story he'd one day tell, to help lead my friends to me. Oh, and in those early days...
The story he'd one day... Sorry, the, like, subtitles stopped working. The story he'd one day tell to lead my friends to me. So the whole point was to help lead Team RWBY to Jaune, because they knew Jaune would be showing up with Team RWBY, like, eventually. But then, I guess Lewis decided to change it and leave out the fact that the Rusted Knight is Jaune, and also leave out him in his own story. Okay, thank you, Sky Slasher. You don't have to kill a character to raise the stakes of a story. A particularly humiliating loss is motivation enough. That is true. You can also, like Yang losing an arm, like a rather serious physical injury can also raise the stakes a lot, you know? Yeah, death isn't the only option, but especially in a story like RWBY where they're trying to establish all the stakes and also like, ooh, the villains sure are dangerous, like killing off a character does help a lot and does make it feel like, oh, they could die sooner or later. You know, it's like in Madoka Magica. You don't think about it until it actually happens, right? Yeah, the whole circumstances, what a surprise. And trying to, like, explain something else, they just kind of muddy another concept in RWBY. Every time RWBY tries to explain something that they didn't explain properly the first time, they end up confusing something else at the same time. What does this even have to do with RWBY? Good question, Protag. Yeah, that is a good question. Like, I think they did it just because Miles could come in to record, right? Because they were like, oh, we didn't really give these kids enough characterization during the volume, so we can bring in Miles to record something, and we can do some characterization for realsies this time, right? RT having the black man leave himself out of a story he was in and writing. I mean, we can't even get, like I was looking at this list, you know, it is a shocking amount of characters on here are POC characters. Shocking. Sage, Maria, Pietro, Marrow, Ciel, Elm, Joanna, Harriet. You know, they're kind of. It's not that surprising, is it? Alright, let's keep going.
Every night around the campfire, when I tell them my story, my adventures, oh, they always seemed so amazed.
Alright, this shot is done.
Weird.
Change. Why are we lingering on just her face for so long? Like, we couldn't think of anything else to put on screen. We see him writing for like 3 seconds. Why is it just Alex eating for so long? Hold on, I want to go back to the beginning of her eating to like really time it.
My friends to me.
3:27. Let's keep that in mind.
In those early days, every night.
Oh yeah,
around the
Fox as well.
campfire,
Well done. Yep.
When I tell them my story, my adventures, oh, they always seemed so amazed. Which was weird because it was just my life.
3:46. That's like 20 seconds of just her on screen, and it's not even a very good like framed shot either. You know, there's a lot of dead space in the middle here. It's hard to tell that they're roasting something. I don't know. We could have just been zooming in on her face or something. Thank you, The Native Son. Thank you. Did RT really expect this series to save RWBY? It feels so low effort. I don't think they expected it to save RWBY. My theory, my tinfoil hat theory, is that they expected this to be like their marketing pitch. You know, this is what they would use to like sell the idea of what the direction of the story is going for with when they start like trying to pitch to other companies to fund. This is to help to fund the volume 10. That's my theory. This was just made so they could show the companies what they want to do with the story so they can fund volume 10. That's what I think this was. I have no proof. That's my theory. It's a weird theory because, like, why would you have the junior detectives? Because, like, on one hand, it's like, show off Vacuo, but also, it's not just have this be a pitch for companies, but also trying to make something that audiences would also watch, so they can convince people to get a first membership, because that was the thing. This was going to be hidden behind a first membership. So, what are things people are going to want to spend money on to see, you know, junior detectives coming back? That's a fan favorite. Oh, giving Lewis and Alex some more exposition. People love the lore stuff. We'll give them that. So, it feels like both. Like, it was trying to just get more money from audiences and also, like, fund the next volume. That's what I think it was, but I'm not sure. Thank you, George, again. On top of clearing the board, I've decided Yang will not be losing her right arm in the story. However, RWBY loses her left arm. Ooh. Interesting. I love little changes like that, where, like, it's, like, like the same but opposite, you know? I'm impressed you didn't decide RWBY loses an eye. Everyone wants RWBY to lose an eye. The lawnmower showed up. I don't know if you can hear it in the background. I can. Everyone wants RWBY to lose an eye. Like, even I'm like, yeah, just do it already. Just have Tyrion get RWBY's eye. We've been waiting for that for so long.
Oh, they always seemed so amazed. Which was weird because it was just my life.
The lawnmower is getting closer. I could tell because it was activating my avatar to like move as if I was talking. Sorry if you can hear it. There's nothing I can do. Scuff. It happens. Watch, they'll be done as soon as I'm done streaming. As soon as stream is over, the world will be dead silent.
The mistakes I'd made. And the times I'd gotten lucky. It was like having my team back. People around you who make you feel more than you are. Or maybe they see you in a way you can't see yourself.
Aw, classic Nora, too. Aw. Oh.
It's the same kind of warmth that a good fire brings.
And classic. Oh, and
Laughter.
Kira.
And a good meal. I see those campfires all across Vacuo at night, and I wonder what people are sharing, what they're building.
See, again, it's what I was. It's just over dramatic. Miles only has one mode with voice acting, and it's I know. Okay, Oak Sappy said Avatar activated by lawnmower. I know what you mean, but I pictured Aang, the last Airbender, revving up a lawnmower and his tattoos glowing. Miles is always so overdramatic, and it's just like, it's fine to be overdramatic, it's okay, but it's the thing that bugs me is that no one else gets to. No one else gets to cry or tear up to miss Pyrrha. You know, Ren and Nora haven't talked about Pyrrha ever. Ever, ever, ever. They've never talked about her. So, why is it only Jaune? Why is it only, like, RWBY never gets to? Not even with Penny, you know? No one even got to mourn Penny, right? It's just Jaune and Miles who gets all the dialogue. It's like, I wonder what the sharing of friendship, boo. It's also, a lot of this feels like nostalgia bait. Like, as much as I like seeing classic Nora, classic Ren, and Pyrrha, it's just nostalgic bait. A lot of RWBY has been fueled by nostalgia bait for too long. Ever since we got the giant Pyrrha statue in the middle of Volume 6, it's been really, really blatant how much the show is relying on your nostalgia to keep watching it. Giant Pyrrha statue. Oh, look, Penny's back. Oh, and now look. Oh, it's the junior detectives. You like them, right? You've always liked... Oh, geez, Louise, the lawnmower. You've always liked the junior detectives with RWBY Chippy. Now they're back. Oh, look, it's Pyrrha. She's back again. Again. We already did that in Volume 9. Torchwick's here. Remember that? Remember back when the show was good and you liked it? It's fine. I understand. I do get it. But also, I'm just tired of it. It just feels like, it feels cheap at this point. They've overused it, and it doesn't work the way I think they want it to work anymore. At least not for me. You might feel differently. I know a lot of people still piss their pants every time Pyrrha's on screen, because it's just, oh boy, our favorite dead princess.
The hope they're stoking, and what they'll be saying when this is all over. I guess maybe there's something to this after all.
Perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jean's therapy session was... It was really cool when I got to talk about myself. Like, yeah, he talked about the Splatter Day thing, but he was like, I would tell them the stories about me from Beacon, and they would be so amazed. Telling them about me. I miss my friends, so I can talk about me some more, because I know for sure Ren and Nora aren't talking about themselves.
Yeah. Do you think we're gonna make it?
No. You didn't make it. Rooster Teeth got shut down. I'm sorry, buddy.
Around that campfire. Did it matter?
No. No, I guess it didn't.
Wow. Oh, written and directed by Eddie. No wonder it was good. Eddie's always been great with dialogue scenes. That was a way better episode. Infinitely better than the last one. Like I tease, and I have gripes, you know. Certain things are just intrinsically sewn into RWBY. You know, I'm tired of nostalgia baiting. I don't like the Ever After. I'm kind of tired of it. But, you know, the fact that we did it, Sky Slasher, and then they all died in the end. But I'm glad, like, we are hinting at the idea of Jaune doing an old man kind of arc. I'm glad we're going through what he went through in the Ever After. It's too little too late in my opinion. I don't care about him retroactively being friends with Alex and Lewis, but it is neat to see. It was better. It was better. I think also just the dialogue. The best part was Jaune and Oscar just talking to each other in the beginning. You know, that was some good back and forth dialogue right there. It was way better. It was better. It was better. Well done. It wasn't that bad. And I was so worried. I was so nervous. I saw the thumbnail and everything, and I was like, oh man. It wasn't that bad. What a surprise. It's just whenever Carrie touches something, it's awful. Let's see. There. Yep. Yeah, it wasn't bad. It was fine. Curious what the next episode's about? I am. Unfortunately, nothing can get crossed off on my bingo board. So, we're sitting on a cool 5 points, thanks to that free space. Yeah. There's no way I could predict what's going to be happening next. I'm going to assume there's only 4 episodes, right? So my assumption is the next episode is going to be Blake and Yang focused. It's going to be Blake and Yang talking about something. Something about them being in love. I guarantee there's going to be a Bumblebee episode. 100%. I think it's going to be Blake and Yang talking about being in love and stuff. I think that's what because I imagine the only people they could get to voice any of these characters would be people who, like, were easily and readily available. So I imagine we'll get, like, next episode will be a Blake and Yang one, and then the last one's going to be RWBY. Maybe Weiss will be in it as well. I'm not going to hold my breath. But I think, yeah, it's going to be Blake and Yang, and then the last one's going to be RWBY-focused. RWBY-centric somehow. So, like Ruby Rose. Like Ruby herself, the one girl. She'll be doing something. I don't know what. Which is a shame, because I really hoped one of these would be, like, a villain-focused one. Like, see what Salem's up to, see how Cinder's dealing with her problems. I don't think we're going to get that, though, unfortunately. So, yeah, I 100%... I would put money down that the next one is going to be Blake and Yang. I guarantee it's going to be Blake and Yang doing something. So, that's my theory. Because they gotta tease Bumblebee some more. And I guarantee if anyone gets shafted, it's going to be Weiss. I honestly don't even think Weiss will get dialogue in these episodes. Yeah, nothing for Weiss Schnee. What are we gonna do? Establish her same plot point since the beginning of time? Ooh, my family. Ooh, my famous name. Can't do anything else with the character? Okay. So yeah, I think it'll be Blake and Yang stuff next time. We'll see. Anything could happen. There's only 2 episodes left after this. They'll finish airing in the middle of May, and I'll be in the middle of Magical Girl May. We'll see. Maybe I can make multiple videos. Because I might want to do a review for it. We'll see how it works out. We'll see how busy I get with Magical Girl May. So that's the biggest thing I have to talk about, is that this week I'm trying to release my Everyone vs. Salem in the Whale analysis, which should be fun. And there's also an important announcement happening at the end of the month, so keep your eyes open, because it'll be important. It'll be something you've all been waiting to see for a while. And then May is Magical Girl May, and it's gonna be great. I'm already working on making new merch stuff. Also, right now, it might have taken a couple of hours to, like, process, but I've lowered all the prices on last year's Magical Girl May merch. stuff. So I made it as cheap as Teespring will allow me. Because they don't let me make them cheaper because of their production costs, which, a bummer. If I could make them cheaper, I would, but I made them as cheap as the website will allow me to make them. So everything Magical Girl related is on sale, and they will stay that way forever. There will be new merch soon. That'll also be as cheap as I can make it. I promise. It's gonna be fun. I'm gonna be covering some fun new Magical Girl stuff. I'm excited, and I guess I'll see you next Sunday. I was a little earlier today than usual. Usually I start at 11. I just have other stuff I'm doing today, and I wanted to make sure I had time to wrap up stream, because I didn't know how long this would take. Who knows? If it had Jaune in the thumbnail, that's like a 50-50 chance I'm just gonna be screaming and being upset. Wow, thank you, Alex. Wow. Oh my gosh. Alex Eden, for your first super chat. Thank you. What a cool. I can't deny that this episode was well written, but also, anyone else feel like it's only with Jaune that you can feel love and passion from the writes? It feels like Team RWBY never gets this level of love and attention. I do totally agree, for the most part. Because it's also because, like, whenever it's Team RWBY doing things, they have to be stuck doing the plot stuff, right? Like, they're the ones churning out, like, the exposition, like, they're talking about the big, important, world-ending plot events. And so whenever we have a personal event, it's usually Jaune that gets to do it. Because if it's a plot event, they make Team RWBY do it, because they're the main characters. So that means Team RWBY doesn't have the time to do the personal stuff. And also, they've just inherently written Jaune to be a more emotionally driven character, where Team RWBY is more like motivate, like their priorities are a little bit different, you know, like Jaune's sitting here dealing with this trauma of his dead friend, while Ruby's just moving forward because she's the main protagonist. Weiss is only centered on her family, and Blake and Yang have been busy staring at each other for the last 3 volumes. So it makes sense that it does go to Jaune the most. It's also because Team RWBY as a whole tends to be written as, like, a conglomerate. Like, it's not just, like, Volume 9 really is an oddity, because usually it's all 4 girls do something, you know? If it happens to one of them, all of them are standing there. Where Jaune can get separated from the others, he can, like, talk to 1 or 2 people at a time. He doesn't always get stapled to the same group of people, especially compared to the rest of Juniper, where Ren and Nora are usually always stapled together. If Oscar's stapled to someone, it's usually the whole group. If he talks to anyone individually, it's RWBY, and it's always plot-related stuff. So yeah, like, they just kind of intrinsically have written Jaune to be the most accessible character for things like this. So yeah, it's a shame, because I think I would like to see any of these characters do more and get to emote more and express themselves more. We did get a lot of that in Volume 9, for RWBY at least. Not the other girls, mostly RWBY. Yeah, Team RWBY is often written like a single character, 100%, yes. So okay, I guess that's it. It was a slightly shorter stream. I didn't sit here, despite being a 2-minute longer video, I didn't sit here and scream and rant about how terrible of a writer Carrie is. Oh my god, he's horrible. I hate his work. He's terrible. Jaune is Usopp in Arlong Park. That's an insult to Usopp. At least Usopp's fun. At least he's an inherently fun character. Yeah, I think that's it. So, we'll be the normal time next time. Because, you know, my schedules will be different. We'll see you next week with episode 3. I'm willing to bet it's Blake and Yang. If you have a bet on who you think it'll be focusing on, leave them in the comments. I'd love to see your predictions and whatever. Magical Girl may start soon. A video will be coming out soon throughout this week, and an important announcement happens at the end of May. So, lots of fun stuff on the horizon. Okay, thanks for showing up. Thanks for having fun. I appreciate you all. Thank you everyone who gave super chats. You're all so nice and kind, and I like you so much. And I guess that's it. see you in the next one. Bye bye.